Okay, let's talk about the two states that mean the most to me: Illinois, where I live, and Indiana, where I lived and have many family members. In this last election, I live in Illinois, I live up near the Chicagoland area. In this last election, several downstate counties had non binding referendums on their ballots in order to see if the people of those counties wanted to leave Illinois. And several of those counties voted to leave Illinois. Now, first things first, before we go any further, none of this is actually going to happen because it would take both states agreeing on this plus an act of Congress. But let me just explain to you where we're at. So, several downstate counties voted to secede from Illinois. Indiana recently passed a bill, we're waiting to see if the governor signs it, to allow those states to become part of Indiana. And as somebody who lives in Illinois, I would like to cast my unofficial ballot in favor of allowing these counties to leave our state. Let me show you why. You can see here from this map, the red is Indiana, the blue and yellow make up Illinois. The yellow counties are the ones that voted to secede from Illinois and possibly join Indiana. All of the counties in yellow. Now, we're going to put aside for a moment how impossible it is to draw a state line here, and we're just going to talk about what these counties are and what it would mean to the two states. So the yellow counties are the ones that want to get out of Illinois. They don't want to be part of Illinois anymore. This is a map of how much state funding, on average, each county takes in compared to what it generates. And what you're going to see from this map is only the gray and purple areas in the upper right-hand corner, the Chicagoland area, that would be Chicago and its suburbs, where I live, only those areas get back less than $1 for every $1 it puts into the state funding. Every other place gets back more. The yellow, $1.38 on average, the blue, $1.80, the green, $1.42, and the orange all the way down in the bottom, $2.88 on average. So these are all taker counties. They need money from the purple and gray areas in order to stay alive. They're also the ones that bitch the most about the purple and gray areas. When you put these maps side by side, what you're going to see is that every single county that voted to leave the state of Illinois, that doesn't want to be part of the state of Illinois, relies on the state of Illinois to keep it afloat financially. Without taking in more state funding than they generate, they would collapse. They could not pay their bills. This is how the counties in Illinois voted in the last election. See, Tom, it's a red state. No, because this state has just a little over 12 million people living in it, about 12.2, 12.3. And that blue area in the upper right-hand corner accounts for 9.2 million of it. What you're seeing here is a shit ton of sparsely populated counties voting red. And when we put it all together, what you see is that the counties that want to leave Illinois, the counties that voted to leave Illinois, are all financially dependent on the state they want to leave. And all of them voted Republican. Every last one of them. And when you take a look at the most federally dependent states in this country, in other words, states that need money from the federal government to survive because they don't generate enough tax revenue to pay their own bills, Indiana comes in at number 9. Indiana is what's called a taker state. I showed you taker counties from a county level. Indiana is one of the many red states that takes money from blue states in order to survive. Illinois is one of the states that it's called a donor state. We take in about 68 cents for every $1 in federal funding we generate because it goes to states like Indiana. So, the 9th most federally dependent state wants to take from us a slew of financially dependent counties that all vote Republican. Now, would Illinois lose a couple of electoral points, like they might drop down by a couple of electoral college votes? Yeah. But what would happen to Illinois is, A, it would become bluer than it ever has been because it would jettison nothing but red voting counties. So you guarantee it's going to be blue forever. You guarantee you're going to have Democratic governors for the foreseeable future. We would become more financially sound as a state here in Illinois because all of those counties we would no longer have to keep those counties afloat. It would free up that revenue to be able to do other things in the state. And it would make the ninth most federally dependent state in the country even more federally dependent than it already is. I don't see where the downfall is for Illinois. Fuck them. Let them go. Let Pritzker, let them go. They're all dependent on state funding. They all bitch and moan about the Chicagoland area, how we're the evil liberals in the state, and then they need our fucking money to stay alive. Let Indiana keep them afloat. Let them be part of Indiana. Let Indiana become Mississippi overnight. Mississippi takes $3 in federal funding for every $1 it puts in. Go ahead, take them. Draw a line across Illinois just underneath Springfield and take everything south of it. Have at it. This is not a lose situation for Illinois. Illinois becomes more financially sound. We get rid of some of the dead weight, so to speak, the people who leech off of the ones that actually generate the GDP in this state, and we lose a bunch of red voting counties. I'll sign the petition to make this happen today. Where is it?